Let's start with a couple of dilemmas I have for you.
Okay.
You have to pick your favorite. Just answer it, and then once you answered them all, we'll go through them, and you can explain a little bit better why you've chosen that.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Great. All right. First one: dirt track or race track?
Dirt track.
Dirt track. All right. Maybe that was easy for you. Maybe this one isn't. Building bikes or driving bikes? And you have to
Building
pick
bikes. Building.
Sorry?
Building. Definitely
Building.
building.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Wheelies or top speed?
Wheelies.
Wheelies. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then regarding the bikes you've built for DEUS, Joe Dirt or Heinrich Maneuver?
Heinrich Maneuver.
Right. And then the last one, Australian Alps or the French Alps?
Yes, I didn't know there was any Alps in Australia, but French Alps.
I didn't know either. I just looked it up and I thought, hey, that's funny. Anyway, let's go through the answers you gave. You dirt track or race track? Well, that was it seemed to be
Dirt
easy
track.
for you and dirt track. So you go on dirt tracks often, or?
Nowadays, I do vintage racing, yes. But it's funny, when I was younger, I used to be a lot more racing, racetracks, and sports bikes. And
Okay.
through the later 10 years, I really switched on to dirt bike, a bit of
Yeah.
enduro, but mainly flat tracking and dirt track.
Okay. Oh, also bikes you built yourself?
Yeah, or some as well, because I race in the vintage flat track. It's a
Yeah.
390 motorcycles, dirt bike mainly, and we don't modify them too much. We just race them like they were back in the days.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
And they're just set up for dirt tracking.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, building bikes or driving bikes, you had to think a little bit, but you chose building bikes. Of course, it's your profession as well. So
Yeah, it's definitely, it's more than this, is my passion.
yeah,
I've built bikes since very young, but funny enough, same as I used to ride a lot more when I was younger. I think I had a bit more time in my hands, and
yeah,
now building it's my passion. Yeah, I love it.
yeah, yeah. I can imagine. Of course, we will dive into that part a little bit more later on.
Okay.
Wheelies or top speed? Yeah, you already said. Well, you prefer dirt track over racetrack, so I can imagine top speed might not be your favorite thing to do. But you're a big wheelie fan, or are you?
Yeah, I enjoy a bit of wheelie. I like to go
Okay.
fast, but top speed is not so much where I feel safe all the time.
Okay.
Where wheeling is a bit more fun. It's not that safe, but it's a bit more
No.
fun for me to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Maybe nice to tell you. I have I'm a bike driver myself. A couple of months ago I bought a Yamaha XSR 700. You probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're selling them here.
All right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, and I did a little bit of customization myself, and I'm now learning the wheelies a little bit, but it's so scary. It's really
Yeah,
just
at first
whenever
it is. Yeah.
this part, my front wheel of the road is going this part, I'm already my heart is
The
here
heart is
somewhere.
racing.
Yes, yeah. But if you have some tips later on, it's maybe not the safest thing to advise the people here, but
No.
it sure is a lot of fun. So anyway, all right. And then the bikes you built for David, Joe Dirt or Heinrich Maneuver. I thought you were going to say, yeah, it's like picking one of my children. I cannot choose, but you were quite clear. Heinrich Maneuver.
Yeah. But the Heinrich Maneuver is definitely, it was a very big build we've done in partnership with DEUS Customs and BMW Australia, and
Yeah.
that was really a really good achievement in my career as a custom build.
Yeah, because it's based on the R90, right?
Yes. So when the model came out 5 years ago, I think, that we were commissioned by BMW to build an incredible custom build with the model. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so that bike, is that still in your store, or is it sold to someone?
It went through 3 or 4 hands. It still comes here for maintenance and servicing.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's somewhere in Sydney. Yeah, it is not far.
Okay, so they are actually driving on it.
Funny, the few first owner didn't drive it so much, but the later guy that owned the motorcycle rides it a bit more now. Yes,
Okay, cool,
which is
nice.
good. I like to see my bikes being ridden.
Exactly, yeah, I can imagine because you're building it, you're putting a lot of love and attention and time into it, and then it would be a waste if it's just being parked somewhere, right? You need to
Yeah,
drive it, show
some
it.
of them you like to see them out there, but it's as well nice to see some of them that just look after them and ride them a little bit every year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very good. All right, and then the last ones, yeah, you picked French Alps over the Australian Alps. You
Yeah.
never heard of Australian Alps? Is it something really small?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't.
you found mountains not far from Sydney, about an hour from here, which is not really a
Mhm.
mountain; it's more big hills, and
Yeah,
there is a bit more mountains in south as well in Victoria. But I do miss the French Alps, to be very
yeah,
honest. Definitely, it was fun
yeah,
to ride down there when I was young.
yeah. Because you grew up near the or in the French Alps or
Yeah,
near?
I grew up not so far from Chamonix.
Okay.
It's as well half an hour from the border of Switzerland and Italy.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But you miss it, but still you've chosen to pack your bags and start a new life on the other side of
yeah,
the world
yeah.
in Sydney. Are you ever going back? Or
I've been back not every year, but quite often. But no, I think now I think I've got two homes. I've got France and I've got Sydney. But
yeah,
I think I'm gonna be in Sydney for a while. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Quite jealous of you to be there. By the way, how's the lockdown over there? Is it very strict or
So it's like everywhere. It's really horrible, but the rules and haven't been as hard as I can see on the news around Europe and in America. But
Mhm.
it's not great. It's getting better. There are a few days where we don't have new cases, but I don't
Ah,
think
okay,
we're
yeah,
not finished.
but
Yeah.
nah, but the bars and restaurants are closed also.
Still closed. Yeah, we can they can do takeaway and delivery, but they
Yeah.
close. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here. Yeah. Anyway, everybody's already talking so much about it. Let's just focus on on you and on your. All right. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for this, and I have some other questions that I have prepared for you, and also viewers. If you have some questions, I can see there's popping up one right now. Let me see. All right. Yes, we have some. Yeah, let me just go run through them. All right, Jeremy, how did you become so passionate about motorbikes?
So my father was probably the first. He was really into motorcycle, and his best friend, which was my godfather,
Hmm.
was the owner of a Kawasaki dealership in France. And I think from very young, as soon as pretty much I could walk, my godfather and my dad really wanted me to go on a little mini bike. So
Ah,
my first wheel spins was on a little PW50 when I was just about 3.
only three.
Yes.
And wow, and okay, I can imagine a lot of parents wouldn't be so happy to or wouldn't
No.
really encourage you at that age to do that. But
But my dad had a very interesting view. Because back in the 1890s, you didn't need to get a license to ride scooters on the street, and he
yeah,
wanted me and my brother and sisters to learn very young. So it was part of a habit of us to drive
yeah.
a little bit faster than on a push bike, and so we had a little bit of skills when we could just go on a scooter on the road.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. So you were learning it already at a younger age, so you could
Yeah,
benefit from it. Yeah,
yeah.
all right, sounds good. Yeah, I have a baby boy myself. He's only 7 months years old or 7 months
Oh,
old, and right now I'm really scared of him doing that. But on the other hand, I already took him on my bike, not to drive, but just to sit, let him
yeah.
sit on it, and yeah, I will. I don't know. I can imagine it's also fun to teach your
Yeah, of
children.
course, of course. My two daughters, just one of them has started to cycle a little bit,
Okay.
And I'm hoping I can put them on two wheels too, if the wife let me to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You need some approval on that side as well, I can imagine.
Yes.
All right. So okay, so how many years did you? How many years ago you moved to Sydney? You said.
So I moved in Sydney November '06. So it's just
Okay.
almost 14 years old.
Almost 14
14
years
years,
old.
sorry.
And back then, did you already straight away started working for DEUS?
Almost. So I came in Australia purely traveling. I was
Okay.
planning to stay only for a year, and I was a bartender.
Okay.
And one of the bartender with who I was working had a Vespa, and he needed to do a little bit of work. So I ended up to help him out.
Yeah.
And then he was living not far from the DEUS store. So
Okay.
we walked in there, and this is the first time I discovered the, the the store basically, and the people.
Yeah.
It was just new and fresh. They were open just for about 6 months before I walked in.
Ah. Okay. Okay. And they were already doing some customization on bikes, or
Yeah,
did
so
you
the
really
store
start?
was enormous. The store was really big, and you could see a little bit of clothing on one side. There was a couple of really cool cars, and there was already a few motorcycle customized SR
Yeah.
400 from Japan. They were really funny looking. Me coming from Europe, I haven't seen this look when you walk in
Yeah.
the store. Normally it's really square, it's very dealership, and this
Yeah.
was completely different. So I was really like, what am I walking in? It's amazing.
You fell in love straight away?
Yeah, I was really interested. I just wanted to understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And at Deus, how does the custom process work? For example, I have my XSR 700 standard. I walk into your door. I say, "Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Can you make something pretty out of this?" Or how do you? Yeah. How does it
Yeah.
work?
Okay. So well, it's pretty much we try to sort of bond with the customer and understand what really he wants to achieve, because
Hmm.
there is a fine line between what we want to do and how much we're willing to spend to get where we want to go.
Yeah.
And so we offer them choices and options for customizing their motorcycle, and of course the sky is the limit, and so we just
Yeah.
go with them. But
Yeah.
the most important thing is to get what they want to do with the bike, and then we help them to pick parts, and we get ideas from everywhere to just really have the good guidelines,
Yeah.
and then we work together pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really that's.
Communication is really important. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So it's not like they bring their bikes and I don't know, a couple of months later they come back and then it's done. It's really a collaboration between the
Yeah, we
customer
start the
and
conversation when they walk in and with the ideas, and until we get to a point where we have the build on paper,
hmm
and we say let's order the parts. We keep chatting, and then we once all the parts are here and we know what we're going to do, this is only then I'm getting the bike in and the work starts. And I
okay.
stay in touch with the customer through the build by WhatsApp. Actually, it's a very good tool for me at the moment.
Yeah,
And from the beginning of the build, I send them updates on the bikes, photos. I ask questions, and
yeah,
we don't change what we have on the paper, because it's really easy to get lost and add
yeah,
in work and add in work and getting more expensive.
yeah.
And then we
But
go through the build together.
but so you do start with a sketch or you do put something on paper before you start building.
Yeah, either we found inspiration photos, builds done by others or that I've done previously, and we pick certain area what we like on one bike and another and another.
Yeah,
But the customer can come with his ideas, or sometimes they like to say, "Oh, what do you guys want to do?" Which is as well a little bit more difficult because there is so much we can do,
yeah, yeah,
and
of
this is where
course.
communication is really important. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I can imagine WhatsApp works quite well if you send them a photo and
yes.
is this the way to go or not? All right. Yeah, you already talked a bit about inspiration, but where do you get it from? Do you get it from other bikes or from other builders as well, or from the city, Sydney, or?
Yeah, so when we started this, our main source of inspiration and to get those really crazy new ideas was Japan. Japan was a really strong inspiration for builds and ideas. And nowadays, you can see online, it's
Yeah,
enormous. The amount of knowledge and photos and styles and builder you can find out there is incredible. So
yeah,
when you really want to look for something specific, you can spend hours and get
yeah.
ideas from everywhere.
Yeah, is there maybe one specific builder that you're inspired by or that you look up to or
I
is it?
do look up to many builders, but there is one particularly at the moment that I found quite fascinating to follow. His name is Maxwell Hazen.
Okay.
He's a New York guy, but he works now from Los Angeles, and he
Sorry, what,
started. Sorry,
what was that you said? He was working
he,
for or?
he works for himself in Los
Oh, for
Angeles.
himself. Ah, okay.
Yeah, but his styles and his ways of designing and thinking is incredible.
Okay. Okay.
Maxwell Hazen.
Maxwell hasn't. Wait, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna look it up a little bit. Maxwell hasn't. Hasn't. All right. And he's based in New York, you said?
He's from New York, but he lives in LA now,
Ah,
and
okay.
his business is in LA as well.
All right. Let me look him up. I don't know him, but I do see some other questions coming in. Let me just go run through them. We already have quite some. Yeah, this is one that I also wanted to ask you. I think it's the last one. What is your favorite bike and yeah, model?
Okay. This is a lot difficult because
Yeah,
I never really stick to one bike particularly, and there is if I pick a bike for the road, there is so many options. I pick a bike for racing, there's
yeah,
also plenty of options. It's always been very difficult to answer this question. I
yeah,
do enjoy each bike for what they mean to be used for,
yeah.
and I'm not a big guy that I just want Japanese bikes or English or European or
Really
I cannot
depending
like
on the
everything.
yeah. So it's depending on the yeah, on the thing that you want to do on the
Yeah,
bike. Yeah.
which is
Okay.
impossible to have a garage with each bikes you would want to have. But
Yeah. But regarding that question, because that was one question I had prepared for myself as well. If you just look at the, if you focus on the design and not the purpose or the or where you want to drive, for example. But if you really focus on the design, what bike do you think is really nice, already standard, so without any modification or customization?
um, I have actually lately I was lucky enough to own a hypermoted from Ducati,
Okay,
2010 1100cc SP Evo, and I really enjoyed to ride that bike for a little while.
that's a one cylinder.
It's a twin cylinder.
Okay.
It's a big Ducati 1100cc,
Ah, that one. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
it's a supermoto setup.
yeah.
I think yeah, I've been pretty big on supermoto from very young. It always has been a model, the style of bike I really enjoy to ride around.
And that's already good looking without any customization. You can,
I
or
did do a few things to clean it up a bit, of course, but
of course, yeah, yeah,
it's well set up. Yeah.
yeah. All right, good one. Um, Let me see. We have some other. Yeah, also a good one. Are you working on any custom project right now that you can maybe show us? I see some things in the background.
Yeah, so you can see. So right now I'm working on an XJR 1300 Yamaha that we're building for a customer of ours, which as well came with his own inspiration.
Okay.
He had a very clear brief. He knew exactly what budget he wanted to spend, and we built the bikes on paper, and now we're building it for him.
All
Do you
right.
want to show me? Show you quickly?
Yeah, if you can do so.
So you can see it's quite modified already.
Yeah.
We're just finishing to work on the electric, but we've got a new seat, a new tail end, airbox out, power commander, new handlebar, new master cylinders, new
All right.
brakes, exhaust system from SC Project, LED headlight, motor gadget, speedometer, and it goes on and on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. When
That's
do you
a,
expect it to be finished?
I am just finishing the electric and the wiring, and once this is sorted, we can take the bike for a dyno tune to get the tune perfect,
Ah, yeah. Nice.
and then it'll be ready to go.
Ah, okay. So the seat, everything is not yet on there, but it's already.
Yeah, exactly. I've got the seat on the
Ah,
side, it's finished, and the fuel tank is painted on in the other room.
so you can just then put it all together and you
Yes.
can go on the street. Nice.
Yeah, it's quite a nice build there. And once we finish them, we do photos, we do a write up, we even do now little videos to explain what we've done. And after this, you can see it all on our social network and online
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Is that the only bike you're working on right now, or do you have some others? Not that you don't need to show anything, but
We've got a setup just here on a Triumph, a flat tracker frame that we're planning to put together. I'm finishing on the back over there a 1970 Honda Z50, a little monkey bike.
okay.
Very interesting. It's not an everyday, it's a winter project for a
Okay.
customer. I've got here a race bike that we're just doing a little bit of work on. It's a CBR 600. In
Ah,
winter, we take a little bit more maintenance work and work that we usually wouldn't take through the busy time.
yeah.
We got a bit of, I can
All
do this
right.
at the next.
Yeah. Regarding seasons, I think there's another question coming up. Where is it?
So right now for us is the beginning of autumn. We are in middle of autumn, and it's 10 degrees in the morning, but it's almost 20 in the afternoon.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I thought I saw another question coming up. I can't find it. I thought it was something like, what is the best season to ride the bike in Australia?
In Australia, you can ride all year long.
Yeah.
If you're from Europe, in Europe you stop because of winter and
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of rain. Here we do get rain sometimes for a few weeks, but it's never going for too long, and you can ride all year long. In Sydney, in the area of Sydney. In
Yeah.
south of Australia, you can still ride all year long, but it gets a lot colder.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But around Sydney all year is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
We have this seasonality, and it was funny. I think the first weekend of April here in the Netherlands, of course, everybody was locked down. You were not allowed, or you were allowed to go out, but you had to minimize it. Oh,
Yep, sorry.
going fine. But beginning of April here in the Netherlands, the weather was good, and there weren't a lot of things that you were allowed to do, but motorbike driving was one of them. And so everybody got their bikes out for the first time, and all these nice little winding roads, were filled with motorbikes. Everybody was waiting for months to get out again, but you don't really have that. You can just do whenever you feel like it. You can just go out. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good question as well. Do you have specific goals for 2020?
Work-wise, there's two builds that I really wanted to do. One of them is the Triumph flat tracker that you can see on the bench in the middle, which is not started yet. I think the reality is that we need to find a customer that wants this bike for us to build it for him.
Mm-hmm.
And there is another bike we've got in past year, which is a 1945 WLA Harley Davidson, which is a really good project that I really wanted to do, but with the COVID and all that happened in Australia, the fires and all this, I don't think
Yeah.
we'll get across with both, but maybe we can start one of them.
Okay. Okay.
But
That would
for
be.
customers, we already I've been quite busy for customers build with the XJR, the little Honda. I finished a Moto Guzzi earlier this year. We've done a BMW R1200R, and I just finished as well a W Kawasaki 800 for a customer in New Zealand.
Okay.
And all those is full builds, complete custom builds.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. All right. Yeah. And there's a nice question coming up here. Do you have any tips or advice for a rookie starting to customize his bike?
Yeah, I guess the most important tip I would say for being a good customizer, a custom bike builder, it is to be a mechanic at first. Like,
Yeah.
because you've got many people that try to customize, but the basics of the mechanics are quite important to get something really,
Yeah.
really well
Yeah.
done but safe.
Yeah, I can imagine. Does it happen to you also that people just start customizing their bikes but with no
Yeah,
experience, and then they come up, Jeremy, can you please
yeah,
finish
that's
this?
funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Quite often actually, or often you get the phone call as I'm trying to do this. Can
yeah,
you tell me the way how to do? Can you help me?
yeah,
It's quite. It is a job. It's a real job. And
yeah,
you can do it at home, but
yeah,
there's few rules that you can't mess up with.
yeah. No, of course. Yeah, I can imagine. And of course, I mean, you're driving it often on the highway as well. It must be
Yes,
something safe, right? It's not
has
really
to
a
be.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good question. How has your style changed since first starting 14 years ago? How did you develop? Is it,
My style. Well, I guess I came from Europe, from the mountains, so my
yeah,
style was quite fruity, I would say. But I wear a lot of DEUS at the moment. I think that's all I've got in my wardrobe. I'm getting, you know, I'm getting
yeah,
everything from DEUS, so it's quite nice. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. But also
yeah,
regarding the designs.
as in bikes, my
Yeah.
style in bikes is, I think we can see from the builds I've done for myself mainly are trackers. So they
Okay.
sort of dirt bikes looking off-road bike, but that you ride on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy the cafe races and all this, but I think if I was riding more often,
Mm-hmm.
I would have cafe races or faster bikes. But because I don't ride too often, I enjoy
Yeah.
the stand up ride, the one that are a bit more relaxed,
Yeah.
and you can cruise and enjoy more the
And
ride.
exactly. And spend some if you're spending some more time on the bike, it's a bit more
Yeah,
convenient. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. There's I'm just scrolling through some more questions. Yeah, this one. So what was your dream bike as a child when you were growing up in France?
As a child, my dream bike was a ZXR 750, a Kawasaki sports
Ah,
bike.
that's a racer, right?
Yeah, that's a sports
Or the
racing
nin is it a
sports bike.
Ninja or
Back in the day, yeah, they were called Ninja Stinger. They had
okay.
some funny fairings and stuff. But now those bikes, they're going back. They're quite expensive now to find. They're
Ah,
almost 30 years old. Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
Nice one. So if you still have one back in the garage,
I
then
wish.
you can make some money out of it.
Yeah.
The green ones, right? The
Yes, you're
Kawasaki
right.
green ones. Yeah, yeah. All right. Have you ever driven one of those as well?
If I've ridden one.
If you have ever driven,
Yes, yes, yes.
that's
So the funny thing about when I started to learn to be a mechanic as an apprentice is I became the apprentice of my godfather's shop. So his dealership was an exclusive Kawasaki dealership, and so I
nice.
was working on only Kawasaki motorcycles. And
Yeah,
in Europe, the sports bikes back in the days were really strong and popular. So I did test ride many of them.
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice precision. All right. Let's see. Uh, I don't. Seems like I can't see all the questions from the list. Well, I don't know if I see them popping up in the screen. I'll ask them straight away. Um, I have some other questions. Yeah, because we've been talking about customization of the bikes, and you've actually said you preferred building bikes over driving bikes. But I can imagine
Yeah.
you also sometimes go out there on
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
bike. Do you prefer to go alone or rather in a group of friends?
Great question. Uh, I think I prefer to go alone, but I don't enjoy if there's too many riders, it gets a bit difficult, and you
Yeah.
don't get to connect so much with the guys you ride with. But
Hmm.
I think from 5 to 10 people, it could be quite fun, and you
Yeah.
can do something really pleasant with them.
Yeah. Yeah. But it
But
shouldn't be.
riding alone is as well as something really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
To
really
really
enjoyed it. Yeah.
escape from work and everything, just be by yourself, right? Or at
Yeah.
least that's what I really like.
Yeah. Yes, I'm the same.
Yeah. What is your? I mean, of course, you now live in Australia. What's your favorite country to travel by bike?
Okay, so I did travel a fair little bit. I only ride in few countries, but I had an incredible experience of riding BMW GS 1200 in Morocco on my
Morocco.
honeymoon, and that
A
was
honeymoon.
yeah, with my wife
Wow.
behind me. It was in the Atlas Mountain,
Okay.
and that was incredible ride. I had such an amazing experience. It was really fun.
All right. So honeymoon on the bike.
It was
That's
only that was a complete day trip with a tour, a guide that was taking us through the mountain of
okay.
Morocco.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I had such an amazing day. It was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. Cool. Let's see. What do we have? Other? Yeah. I'm wondering. Did you ever maybe a bit of a personal question, but what do you think of the Husqvarna bikes, the Zwartpielen and the Witpielen? Do you know those? The 701s?
Yeah, we know them. Yeah, it's
Have you
funny.
have
We
you ever worked
actually
on
we
them?
were approached. No, we only have a few in Sydney. I've saw them on the street a couple of times. They're not
Okay.
very popular yet, but they look like really fun and cool little bike to work and to ride.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, we haven't had a customer that came with something to do on the bike
Okay.
yet.
Not worked on them
But
yet.
I like the look. I think I haven't test ride it. I'd like to test ride one of them, definitely.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because so I bought this XSR 700, but it was either the XSR 700 or the Zwartpielen, and then in the end,
Uh,
yeah, I think I made a more boring choice. I think, or yeah, the Zwartpielen is it's a bike you never really see, but yeah, it's a one cylinder and it's not very convenient. What I understood, but
yeah, okay. I
it
see.
looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a good design.
All right, I see another question now. What was your longest trip and where did you go on bike?
My longest trip would have been I did back in France. I did almost from where I'm from in the Middle East of France. We ride once with a bunch of friends to go to a MotoGP down in Catalonia in Spain.
Okay,
It's definitely not an like a long ride of many days, but it was another really good 2 days of ride all the way
cool.
down south to Spain.
And you checked the MotoGP there as
Yeah,
well.
then we watched the MotoGP and drive back.
Uh,
And on the drive back, it was actually incredible because we went down on the highway to go down as quick as we could. And when we came back, we took our time and we'd ride all along the coast of Spain, all the way to France. and that was the road was called the Thousands Corners, and it was just twisty, non-stop. We never see the end of this afternoon. It was incredible.
Awesome. Good weather, probably.
Yeah, it was super warm as well. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Sounds good. All right. What's your favorite bike festival?
My favorite bike festival is Wheels and Wave.
With the wife.
Wheels and Wave.
Oh, Wheels and Waves. I thought you said with the wife. Okay.
Hey, she came with me once as well.
Okay. So Wheels and
Yeah,
Waves.
but
Nice.
as a bike festival, the Wheels and Wave is incredible. I was lucky enough to be one of the invited rider 2 years ago, or last year, 2019, and they have race, flat track. They have peak race. We rode in the country around Biarritz over there with them,
Yeah.
and the show and the custom show was incredible over there as well.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds awesome. All right. What do you suggest for travel on South America? With which
Or
bike? If we'd go there. Have you ever?
which bike? I think I'd want something like a DR 650
DR650.
Suzuki,
The
something
Suzuki.
that I know will just start on the electric and a strong monocylinder, enough CC 650. It's good enough to do travel, and it's
Yeah.
a bike you can take on and off road without problem.
Yeah.
They're usually bulletproof. They never have or rarely have any problem. So I
Yeah.
think it'd be a good bike choice.
All right. Reliable thing.
Yeah,
Not too powerful, but powerful enough. And
not too big and not too small. Yeah.
yeah. All right. That's good. Let me see if I missed some questions because I think I've had them all. Yeah, I think we've. Let me double check. Yeah. Yeah. The bike driver you or sorry, the builder you mentioned. It was
Oh yeah.
Maxwell Hassan, right?
Yes, that was him. Yes,
Hassan. So
Hassan. Yeah.
Hassan. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look him up because I'm very curious on his work.
He's got a really interesting setup workshop where and he fabricates everything. He does. He seems to be able to do everything on his motorcycle.
Okay.
Any parts, any machining work. He design, he think it. It's incredible. And his setup is in the middle of this room. It's a big bench, and he's got a steel frame on the table, and the bike hangs off the frame above the table, and he works around it. It's really well. It's super well made.
Nice. Sounds cool. All right. Well, Jeremy, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, you've given me so much information. You've answered all the questions that I had. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Oh wait, there's one last one coming up now. Do you have any tips for someone who wants to do a multiple day road trip by bike? Have you
I
gone
guess
on the bike for a few longer days?
there's no. I think the tips on is to have probably a reliable motorcycle. I don't think you just do it. The tip is to want to do it and not probably thinking too much, because I think there's many people that try to do enormous trip, but they just get lost in the preparation.
Yeah.
Just found your route, knows where you want to go, and just go for the adventure and see what happens.
Exactly, and just have a reliable bike and
Yeah, a little bit of tools and just go for it.
go for it.
What
Enjoy the
happened?
freedom and have fun. All right, sounds good. And one thing that I will remember for this, if you're a rookie being a custom bike builder, make sure you do know a little bit of mechanics and don't just
Yes.
mess things up. All right. Well, Jeremy, thanks again.
Thank you very much, Lars. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your time. Viewers, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, let's catch up later.
And I want to thank you as well, TomTom drivers, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you, Jeremy.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.